Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. My name is Wei Hong. This is our group presentation. This course is EPPM 3414 Set 6. Intercultural Management. Our group member have He Yaping, Ma Jiamei, Yan Yi, Ma Hao, Wei Yuhong. The countries we choose was China and New Zealand. Okay, let me introduce background on these countries. Thank you. National background in China and New Zealand. Geographical background. China is east of the Asia and on the west coast of the Fickle corner. Its land area is about 9.6 million square kilometers, ranking third in the world after the Russia and Canada, and first in the United States. It covers an area the size of the euro. New Zealand is a southwest country's local in the southwest Fickle corner. It is mean part of the United Kingdom of the New Zealand. The capital is Wellington. Demographic background. According to data released by the National Bureau of the Statistics of the People's Republic of China on the January 17, 2020, the total population of the Chinese mainland exceeded 1.4 billion, reaching 1 billion number one in the world. Number one in the world. Of the 4 million people in the New Zealand, 78% are New Zealanders, 14.5% are male, and 6.7% are alpha. Economical background. The economical development of the People's Republic of China can be divided into the stage. In 2010, Chinese GDP surpassed Japanese. In 2019, Chinese was the world's second largest economy after the United States and one of the first growing major economies. New Zealand has a development economical and balance to the developed countries. Account for the only 10% of the New Zealanders' workforce, but livestock is the foundation of the country's economical. Difference between living in China and New Zealand. China and New Zealand are two very different countries in many ways. The Chinese so-called statement is completely different from the New Zealand so-called statement. China is a communist so-called statement and relative conversate. New Zealand is a tropical with democracy relative open. In terms of family, due to the cultural tradition and competitive prosperity, the estimate field in Chinese family is strict and well-behaved well. The family estimate field in New Zealand is relative relaxed and easy go. In many ways in New Zealand happier than China. Thank you.
This is my part. Let me tell you what is power distance. Power distance refers to people's acceptance of the unequal distribution of power in society. Hierarchy is built for convenience, and there is a potential harmony between power and power. For example, China attaches great importance to the order of the old and the young. Traditional Chinese culture with Confucianism as its core, especially in interpersonal communication, it is inevitable to be restricted by their respective status and roles. Otherwise, it is implied. On the other hand, New Zealand has always advocated individual freedom, and children and adults, and superiors and subordinates outside the work are equal relations. This reflects the difference in power distance between Chinese and Western cultures. Next. This is individualism and collectivism. The contradiction between the right of individual freedom and the common interest of groups has been running through the development of human civilization. Highly individualized countries tend to focus on the individual, to emphasize the power of the individual, to emphasize individuality. Take New Zealand, for example. New Zealand is an individualistic culture. This creates a relaxed society where people's expectations are to take care of themselves and their immediate family. China is a country with a high degree of collectivism and attaches great importance to the coordination between individuals and collectives. Under the general premise, individual interest is subordinate to group interest. Harmony is the most important. In this regard, countries with different coefficients have great cultural difference. Next. This is masculinity and femininity. A male or female society is a society where gender roles overlap and boundaries are not clear, where both men and women are supposed to be modest, gentle, and concerned about the quality of life. China is a masculine society, success-oriented. The fact that so many people sacrifice family and leisure priorities for work illustrates the need to ensure success. New Zealand is also considered to be a male society. New Zealanders are proud of their successes and achievements in life, which provide the basis for employment and promotion decisions in the workplace. Conflict is resolved on an individual level with the goal of winning. Next.
About the uncertainty avoidance index, studies have shown that in society and countries with a high degree of uncertainty avoidance, people have a high sense of urgency and enterprising spirit. In society and countries where degree of uncertainty avoidance is low, people are more inclined to live with ease. A large amount of research data shows that Chinese people have a high degree of uncertainty avoidance. In China, people generally have a high sense of urgency and preparation for unknown upcoming events and try their best to avoid the situation by following set plan of behavior. Countries with a long-term perspective usually like to cultivate talents and are willing to make long-term investment to achieve the ultimate profit. However, countries with short-term perspective usually prefer to select talents rather than cultivate talents. Managers advocate implementation of same corporate contact culture and will not focus on cultivating interpersonal relationship. China is a country with a long-term view. While many countries in West are guided by a short-term view, if we can grasp long-term, short-term orientation of each country in cross-cultural enterprise cooperation and cross-cultural economy management, we can overcome this barrier of communication and understanding, better manage enterprise and achieve the purpose of economic benefits. In China, everyone likes to use body language to express each other's intimacy. For example, they like to pat the shoulders and touch the small faces of children. However, Westerners are more disgusted with body touch. If you are not familiar with the other party to a certain extent, whether you are same sex, the opposite sex, or a child, don't touch it easily. Otherwise, it will make them feel very impolite.
Potential for career development. The first is New Zealand, which lacks a comprehensive career development policy and strategy. New Zealand does not have a national career development policy. In sharp contrast to Australia, the United States, and many OECD countries, which have clear and comprehensive career development policy and programs, there is overwhelming evidence that whereas national career development policy can maximize an individual's potential and in turn promote national well-being. Many of the world's largest multinational companies have offices and options in China. Last year, China created 13.5 million jobs, providing a stronger job market than many Europe and American countries. Now, let's turn to the next topic, work-life balance. Where hard work and progress are important to New Zealanders, finding a balance between spending time with family and seeing friends is crucial. However, the demand of Chinese workers is much higher than in many other countries, and the overall work-life balance is not very good. The supporting role of the elderly relative of Chinese employees is significant, which is an important factor in alleviating work-life conflict in China. The third part I want to talk about is conflict in the workplace. In task-related problems, two kinds of conflict arise: different views of the task and different approaches to the task. First of all, the style of New Zealanders is to follow the process, to do the correctly but slowly. They don't just want the result; they follow the rules step by step. In stark contrast, the Chinese are quick-thinking, efficient, and don't even follow policies. There are three suggestions put forward to reduce conflicts. First, establish a mutual ways of thinking is conducive to finding new and creative ways to solve problems. Second, communicate directly. New Zealanders prefer individualistic value and low context communication, and tend to be direct, open, and honest when dealing with conflict.
The challenges and the opportunities of living in the sighted country. New Zealand is a technology backbone, democratic, free, and developing country. Misunderstand. Developed country is not necessarily industrial development. There are 21 developed countries in the world. To live in New Zealand, first of all, you have to bear the long needs. It takes some time to adapt to the new environment. Where is food, local custom, and we are not the same. New Zealand immigrants suitable for some patient education co-op. Opportunities. Since the One Belt and One Road initiative was put forward, the number of direct flights between the two countries has increased significantly, which has brought common sense to people's lives, promoted exchange between the two countries, and created a large number of trade and investment opportunities. As China and the Oceania countries face each other across the sea, air roads are the importance. In recent years, China-New Zealand relations have made many breakthroughs. The One Belt and One Road interactive has promoted all connectivity and fair acting the development of tourism. In 2018, nearly 600,000 visitors were made between China and New Zealand, and China continues to be New Zealand's second largest overseas tourist market. Good work, attitude to be serious and responsible in everything you do, and to finish the job from the beginning to the end. It's better to get started than to waste time. English. No matter whether there is a foundation, we must learn English. At last, no more communication, and have a basic English can do a wider range of jobs. The salary will be higher. It is impossible for a worker to earn a lot of money because all kinds of work are pretty hard. Earning is also hard money. A year of more than 200,000 wage, but also have to work all day and night. That's all finished. Thank you for watching our group presentation.